In China, we like to eat everything with 4 legs, except for the table and chairs.
KP, Watershed, America's favorite YouTube show.
Alright, so that was it in Ujin. Then I was back here in Shanghai, and last night the dinner here in Shanghai was fantastic. The restaurant, I found it on TripAdvisor where it has great reviews. It's called Traditional Beijing Roast Duck Restaurant, and if you're ever in Shanghai, you have to try this place. It is a must-try place. They're famous, of course, for their Beijing-style duck. Now that's a dish for 2, 3, maybe even 4 people, and I was there by myself, so that wasn't an option, but I did have traditional Beijing-style duck with my work colleagues the week before, so it's not like I missed out on having that. I ordered a few interesting things there. First up on the menu for me was shark fin soup, which I'd heard about but had never had a chance to order. Here's the picture. Can you see it? Can you see it? This was delicious. Very expensive, very pricey. It was, I think about $20, maybe $25 for a very small bowl of soup. I knew that shark fin soup was expensive because I guess it's tough to get shark fins right. It's a soup with flour in it, so it's a thicker soup, and then it's got chunks of shark meat and some clear noodles. It was really delicious, and it also just feels kind of badass eating shark, you know? I think besides the fact that shark fin is difficult to acquire, the fact that you just feel powerful eating shark is one more reason why they're able to charge an arm and a leg for shark fin soup. So really enjoyed it. Highly recommend shark fin soup if you ever have a chance to try it. Next up on the menu last night, and for those who have light stomachs, brace yourself or maybe skip over this part of the video. Deep fried bullfrog. Here's the photo. Can you see it? Can you see it? This was actually really good, and I've heard this said about frog before. I've never tried frog before, but I've heard that it tastes like chicken, and it really does taste just like chicken, partly because of the way in which it was prepared. This was a spicy, fried-style bullfrog. It was very spicy, and basically tasted like spicy chicken wings. Now, just like so many other Chinese dishes, it's on the bone, and the frog bones are very small, so it, again, was a lot of work having to pick little bits of meat off of little tiny bones, so that was a little annoying, although it did taste delicious. And it's also a bit difficult to eat it with chopsticks, so while I was struggling with chopsticks, the waitress came over and gave me a fork and knife. And that's happened a few times during this trip, where a waiter or waitress would see me using chopsticks, and I can use chopsticks. I thought I was doing okay, but I guess to them it looks like I didn't know what I was doing, and when the restaurant employees see that, if they have forks and knives available, they'll come and offer them to you. The last item that I had last night was a chef's specialty from the Beijing Roast Duck Restaurant. These are fried duck dumplings. Here's the photo. Can you see it? Can you see it? They're kind of cylindrical, so an interesting style of fried dumpling. They were absolutely phenomenal. I would definitely order this again and highly recommend it. All in all, a great dinner last night at the Traditional Beijing Roast Duck Restaurant on South Henan Road in Shanghai. A+, all around, great restaurant, 3 great dishes. Interesting, had never had shark before, had never had frog before. One of the top, best meals I've had throughout this entire China trip. So that brings us to today. For lunch, near Tongji University, I went to a restaurant called the Stonehouse Restaurant, which is kind of a American Hollywood-themed restaurant with traditional Chinese noodles and other foods. I got a spicy beef noodle soup, and it was really spicy. My eyes were tearing up, my nose was watering, but it was very good. Again, difficult to eat with chopsticks, although here they let me struggle my way through it with chopsticks, which I don't mind trying, and I was able to eat it all with the chopsticks. I'll give this meal a solid A. It was really good. Not the most special meal, but very delicious and very reasonably priced also. Lastly, there was dinner back here at the U Garden Renaissance Marriott. I went up to the Club Lounge where they have a buffet. mostly just normal, traditional Chinese foods there. Dumplings, fried rice, chicken, duck, pork, things like that. The one item that I want to share, here's the photo. Can you see it? Can you see it? These are pumpkin dumplings, or I guess you could call them pumplings. Really, nice looking, good presentation. I thought pumpkins only really existed in America, but I've seen them on menus all over the place here in China. I guess a gourd is a gourd. These were delicious, so I'm going to give these pumpkin dumplings, these pumplings, an A+. Absolutely, really would order them again if I ever saw them again. And how could you not like that, right? Alright, so that's the recap of the food from the past few days and nights in Suzhou, Ujin, and then back here in Shanghai. Really, the food is one of the things that I will miss the most about China when I'm back in the USA. So, China, great job with the food. Keep up the good work. Delicious. Interesting. Adventurous. There was that great quote by Jason, the tour guide in Hangzhou. He had said that in China, we like to eat everything with 4 legs, except for the table and chairs. I did find that to be very true, but again, I really enjoyed eating all types of interesting meals here in China. Alright, I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed the photos. And if you're ever in China, hopefully this helped to perk your interest in some dishes that you might not have known about, or maybe it just grossed you out. Either way, peace out, and I'll see you in the next one. Zai Jian.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him a drink his wine. It's KP Watershed.